Becoming vegans. Phase 1, start eating vegetables at each meal. Phase 2, stop eating animal with four legs, cow, pig, lamb, etc. Phase 3, stop eating animals with two legs, chicken, turkey, etc. Phase 4, stop eating animal with no leg, fish, calm, squirrel, etc. Phase 5, stop eating all animal products, egg, milk, cheese. Starting to exercise. Phase 1, change into workout clothes. Phase 2, step out the door, try taking a walk. Step 3, drive to the gym, exercise for 5 minutes and leave. Phase 4, exercise for 15 minutes at least once per week. Phase 5, exercise 3 times per week. Nearly any larger life goals can be transformed into a two main behavior. I want to live a healthy and long life. Greater than I need to stay in a shape. Greater than I need to exercise. Greater than I need to change into my workout clothes. I want to have a happy marriage. Greater than I need to be a good partner. Greater than I should do something each day to make my partner life easier. Greater than I should meal plan for next week. Whenever you are struggling to stick with a habit, you can employ the 2-minute rule. It's a simple way to make your habit easier. Chapter summary. Habits can be completed in a few seconds, but continue to impact your behavior for minutes or hours afterwards. Many habits occur at decisive moment, choices that are like a fork in the road and either send you in the direction of a productive day or an unproductive one. The 2 minutes rule states when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. The more you ritualize the beginning of a process, the more likely it becomes that you can slip into the state of deep focus that is required to do great things. Standardize before you optimize, you can improve a habit that doesn't exist. How to make good habits inevitable and bad habit impossible. In the summary of in the summer of 1830, Victor Hugo was facing an impossible deadline. 12 months earlier, the French author had promised his publisher a new book, but instead of writing, he spent that year pursuing other projects, entertaining guests, and delaying his work. Frustrated, Hugo publisher responded by citing a deadline less than 6 months. Say the book had to be finished by February 1831. Hugo concocted a strange plan to beat his procrastination. He collected all of his clues and asked an assistant to lock them away in a large chest. He was left with nothing to wear except a large shawl, lacking any suitable clothing to go outdoor. He remained in his study and wrote furiously during the fall and winter at 1830. The Hunchback of Notre Dame was published 2 weeks early on January 14, 1831. Sometimes success is less about making good habits easy and more about making bad habits hard. This is an inversion of the third law of behavior change. Make it difficult. If you find yourself continually struggling to follow through on your plans, then you can take a page from Victor Hugo and make your bad habit more difficult by creating what psychologists call a commitment device. A commitment device is a choice you make in the present that controls your actions in the future. It is a way to lock in future behavior and bind you to good habits and restrict you from bad ones. When Victor Hugo shut his clothes away so he could focus on writing, he was creating a commitment device. There are many ways to create a commitment device. You can reduce the overeating by purchasing food in individual packages rather than in bulk size. You can voluntarily ask to be added to the banned list at casinos and online poker sites to prevent future gambling spares. I have been heard of athletes who have to make weight for a competition choosing to leave their wallets at home during the week before beach in so they won't be tempted to buy fast food. As another example, my friend and fellow habit expert Near Eel purchased an outlet timer, which is an adapter that he plug in between his internet router and the power outlet at 10 p.m. each night. The outlet timer cuts off the power to the router. When the internet goes off, everyone knows it is time to go bed. Commitment devices are useful because they enable you to take advantage of good intention before you can fall victim to temptation. Whenever I am looking to cut calories, for example, I will ask the waiter to split my meal and box half of it to go before the meal is served. If I waited until the meal came out and told myself I'll just eat half, it would never work. The key is to change the task such that it is requires more work to get of the good habit than to get started on it. If you are feeling motivated to get in shape, schedule a yoga session, pay ahead of time. If you are excited about the business you want to start, email an entrepreneur you respect and set up a consulting call. When the time comes to act, the only way to bail is to cancel the meeting, which requires effort and may cost money. Commitment device increase the odds that you will do the right thing in the future by making bad habits difficult in the present. However, we can do even better. We can make a good habits inevitable and bad habit impossible. How to automate habit, never think about it again. Johnny Henry Peterson was born in Dayton, Ohio in 1844. He spent his childhood during chores on the family farm and working shift at his father sawmill. After attending college at Dartmouth, Peterson returned to Ohio and opened a small supply store for a coal miner. It seems like a good opportunity. The store faced little competitions and enjoyed a steady stream of customer, but still struggled to make money. That was when Peterson discovered his employees were stealing from him. In the mid 1800, employee theft was a common problem. Receipts were kept in an open drawer and could easily be altered or discarded. There were no video camera to review behavior, no software to track transaction unless you were willing to hover over your employees every minute of the day or to manage all transactions yourself. It was difficult to prevent theft. As Peterson mulled over his predicament, he came across an advertisement for a new invention called Ritty Incorrigible Cashier, designed by fellow Dayton resident James Ritty. It was the first cash register. The machine automatically logged the cash and receipt inside after each transaction. Peterson bought two for $50 each. Employee theft at his store vanished overnight. In the next 6 months, Peterson business went from losing money to making $5,000 in profit, the equivalent of more than 100,000 today. Peterson was so impressed with the machine that he changed businesses. He bought the right to Ritty invention and opened the National Cash Register Company. 10 years later, National Cash Register had over 1,000 employees and was on its way to becoming one of the most successful business of its time. The best way to break a bad habit is to make it impractical to do. Increase the friction until you don't even have the option to act. The brilliance of the cash register was it automated ethical behavior by making stealing practical impossible rather than trying to change the employees. It made the preferred behavior automatic. Some actions like installing a cash register pay off again and again. These one-time choices require a little bit of effort upfront, but create increased value over time. I'm fascinated by the idea that a single choice can deliver returns again and again, and I serve my readers on their favorite one-time actions that lead to better long-term habit. The table of the following page shares some of the most popular answers. I've wagered that If the average person were to simply do half of the one time action on this list, even if they didn't give another thought to their habits, most would find themselves living a better life a year from now. These one time actions are a straightforward way to employ the third law of behavior change. They make it easier to sleep well, eat healthy, be productive, save money, and generally live better. One time action that lock in good habit nutrition. Buy a water filter to clean your drinking water. Use a small plates to reduce caloric intake. Sleep. Buy a good mattress. Get blank blackout curtains. Remove your television from your bedroom. Productivity. Unsubscribe from emails. Turn off notification and mute group chats. Set your phone to silent. Use email filters to clear up your inbox. Delete games and social media app on your phone. Happiness. Get a dog. Move to a friendly social neighborhood. General health. Get vaccinated, buy good shoes to avoid back pain, buy a supportive change or standing desk. Finance, enroll in an automatic saving plan. Set up automatic bill pay. Cut cable service, ask service providers to lower your bill. Of course, there are many ways to automate good habits and eliminate bad ones. Typically, they involve putting technology to work for you. Technology can transform actions that were once hard, annoying, and complicated into behavior that are easy, painless, and simple. It is the most reliable and effective way to guarantee the right behavior. This is a particularly useful for behaviors that happen too infrequently to become habitual. Things you have to do monthly or yearly, like rebalancing your investment portfolio, are never repeated frequently enough to become a habit, so they benefit in particular from technology remembering to do them for you. Other examples include medicine prescription can be automatically refilled. Personal finance employees can save for retirement with an automatic deduction. Cooking meal delivery service can do your shopping. Productivity social media browsing can be cut off with a website blocker. When you automate as much of your life as possible, you can spend your effort on the tasks machine cannot do yet. Each habit that we hand over to the authority of technology free up time and energy to pour into the next stage of growth. As mathematician and philosopher Alfred North Whitehead wrote, civilization advanced by extending the number of operations we can perform without thinking about them. Of course, the power technology can work against us as well. Binge watching becomes a habit because you have to put more efforts in to stop looking at the screen than to continue doing so. Instead of pressing a button to advance to the next episode, Netflix on YouTube will automatically autoplay if it for you. All you have to do is to keep your eyes open. Technology creates a level of convenience that enables you to act on your smallest whims and desires at the mere suggestion of hunger. You can have food delivered to your door at the slightest hint of boredom. You can get lost in the vast expanse of social media. When the effort required to act on your desire becomes effectively zero, you can find yourself slipping into whatever impulse arises at the moment. The downside of automation is that we can find ourselves jumping from easy tasks without making time for more difficult but ultimately more rewarding work. I often find myself gravitating towards social media during any downtime. If I feel bored for just a fraction of a second, I reach for my phone. It's easy to write off these minor distractions as just taking a break, but over time they can accumulate into a serious issues. The constant tug of just one more minute can prevent me from doing anything of consequence. I am not the only one. The average person spends over 2 hours per day on social media. That could you do with an extra 600 hours per year. During the year I was writing this book, I experimented with a new time management strategy. Every Monday my assistant would reset the password on all my social media account, which log me out on each device all week. I work without distraction. One Friday she would send me the new password. I had the entire weekend to enjoy what social media had to offer until Monday morning would when she would do it again. If you don't have an assistant, team up with a friend or family members and reset each other password each week.